So, have you ever looked at someone and just wondered how they pick up a new language so effortlessly, while others, maybe even you, struggle for years? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not magic and it's definitely not just some language gene. Today, we're going to break down the science of language acquisition into 3 core pillars. And trust me, it'll give you a completely new way to think about learning. So here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the language learning puzzle itself. Then, we'll get into the 3 key pieces: your natural talent, that vision you have for your future self, and of course, the environment you're learning in. And then at the end, we'll put it all together so you can see the whole picture of how fluency really happens. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the language learning puzzle. I mean, it really can feel like that, can it? A big mystery where some people just seem to have all the right pieces. But our goal here isn't just to find those pieces. It's to figure out how they all connect, to build that beautiful, full picture of fluency. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If you've ever felt like you're just stuck in the mud while other people are zooming by, this one really hits home. Are some folks just born with a knack for it? Or is there something else, something deeper going on? Well, the research is actually pretty clear on this. While natural talent does play a role, it is nowhere near the whole story. The real answer lies in these 3 key pillars that all have to work together. And you know what the best part is? You have way more control over them than you probably think. So let's dive into our very first pillar, your natural talent. This is the one everybody talks about, what linguists call your aptitude. Probably the easiest way to think about it is as the cognitive hardware you were born with. So what even is aptitude? It's not just some fuzzy idea of being good at languages. It's a specific set of cognitive skills that helps predict 2 really important things: how fast you learn, that's your rate of learning, and the highest level you can potentially reach, that's your ultimate attainment. Now this is where it gets really fascinating. A psychologist named John B. Carroll took this vague idea of talent and broke it down into 4 concrete, measurable skills. See, it's not magic. It comes down to your ear for new sounds, your gut feeling for grammar, your pure ability to memorize words, and your knack for playing detective and figuring out the rules on your own. For the longest time, people just assumed your aptitude was fixed. You either had it or you didn't. But the modern view is so much more hopeful. Research is now showing us that it's way more dynamic. It's connected to your brain's structure, its neural pathways, and, get this, intensive language learning can actually improve these abilities. Your hardware isn't fixed. It can be upgraded. Okay, but even the best hardware in the world is totally useless without an engine to power it, right? And that brings us to our second pillar, your vision for your future self. This isn't just about kind of wanting to learn something. No, this is the real engine of motivation that pushes you forward day after day. I absolutely love this quote. It just perfectly captures what makes us human, the incredible power of our imagination. Real, lasting motivation isn't just a goal you write down. It's about vividly, intensely imagining a future where you've already made it. And this leads us to this really powerful concept from a linguist named Zoltan Dernier, the ideal L2 self. It's the vision of the future you who's already fluent. Who is that person? What are they doing with that skill? How do they feel? It's so much more than a goal. It's an identity that you're actively trying to become. And here's the absolute key. This ideal self, it's not just some abstract wish. For the learners who are the most motivated, it is a tangible, multi-sensory experience. They can almost see it, hear it, and feel what it's like to be that fluent version of themselves. It feels incredibly real. So how does this actually work to motivate you? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Self-discrepancy theory tells us that motivation springs from that tension, that gap, between your actual self, who you are right now, and that vivid ideal self you can imagine. That gap creates this powerful, nagging desire to close it, and that is the fuel for all your hard work. Okay, on to our third and final pillar, and this one is all about the world around you. You can have the best hardware, the most powerful engine, but if the climate is terrible, you're just not going anywhere. This is all about your learning environment. The linguist Stephen Krashen came up with this brilliant metaphor for it. He called it the affective filter. Just imagine there's a wall inside your mind. When you feel anxious or judged or embarrassed, that wall goes way up. And it doesn't matter how good your teacher is or how great the materials are, the new language just can't get through. It's literally blocked. And you can see here exactly what things lower that wall or raise it sky high. When an environment feels safe, when it's positive, when mistakes are just seen as a normal part of the process, that wall comes right down. and learning just flows. But in a climate of fear, constant correction, and high stress, that wall shoots up, and learning pretty much grinds to a halt. So there you have it, our 3 pillars: talent, motivation, and environment. Now for the fun part. Let's put them all together and see how they create your own unique path to becoming fluent. So here's the complete system. Your aptitude, that's your hardware. Your ideal self, that's the engine that powers the hardware. And the learning environment, that's the climate that decides whether that engine can even run. Now, if there's one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this. A strong enough engine and the right climate can absolutely make up for any perceived limits in your hardware. Your motivation and your environment can be so much more powerful than your natural talent. And really, this is the most empowering part of this whole idea. Look, you can't easily change your innate aptitude, but you have immense power over the other 2 pillars. You can actively work to build a stronger, more vivid vision for your future self. And you can consciously choose or even create a learning environment that brings that affective filter, that wall, way down. So we'll just leave you with this one question. Now that you've seen these 3 pillars, take a second to think about your own learning journey. Which one of these needs your attention right now? Which pillar are you going to start building on today?